Hi, guys. Welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm E.
See.
And, if you've been sleeping, taking a long nap, not been on the socials, not been on the internet, I'm here to keep you up to date. Or we're here to keep you up to date. We're going to talk about Britney and all the bombshells that we've gotten for her upcoming book, The Woman in Me. And it's basically the answers to the questions we've had for decades at this point. A
Yeah,
decade, decades of
yeah,
everything that Britney has gone through, her thought process, her feelings,
yeah.
some things that we were just so curious about. So we're going to talk about, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different topics that are very big topics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, basically, you know, on everybody's mind. And I don't know how I feel about it. I think I've been sad with all
Oh,
the things
yeah.
that I've been reading. But I'm not going to keep you guys in suspense. Here we go. All right. Britney Spears' book claims, these different topics. So, Timberlake's abortion, body shaming by her dad, conservative woes, and why she shaved her head. We wanted to know that. All right. So, according to 2Fab, with Britney's memoir, The Woman in Me, due out later this month, which is probably like a week or two away, some of the biggest bombshells in this book are starting to hit the press, involving her father, her conservatorship, and even JT, Justin
Mm-hmm.
Timberlake. The book marks the first time Spears herself is sharing her story following a lifetime in the spotlight for nearly 14 years under her much publicized conservatorship. Ahead of the memoir's release, excerpts have already started to drop in the press, as well as stories about some of the explosive reveals that she makes in its pages. So, the first topic is her father body shaming her. Brittany said that while she experienced people commenting on her body since day one in the spotlight, that was nothing compared to what she allegedly got from her own father and conservator, Jamie Spears. I knew I never liked him.
For real.
She said, and I quote, if I thought getting criticized about my body in the press was bad, it hurt even more from my own father. He repeatedly told me I looked fat and that I was going to have to do something about it, she wrote, according to People. Another quote from her was feeling like you're never good enough is a soul crushing state of being for a child. He drummed that message into me as a child, as a girl, and even after I've accomplished so much, he was continuing to do that to me. She
Hmm.
continued.
That's so sad. Okay. Well, another revelation was that she felt like a robot under the conservatorship. In 2008, Britney was placed under a conservatorship following a 5150 hold. Reflecting back on that time in her life, Spears said she became a robot, a sort of child robot. I had been so infantilized that I was losing pieces of what made me feel like myself. The conservatorship stripped me of my womanhood, made me into a child. I became more of an entity than a person on stage. I had always felt music in my bones and my blood, but they stole that from me, she wrote. She said she would vacillate between being a little girl and being a teenager and being a woman, claiming there was no way to behave like an adult because she wasn't treated like one. So I would regress and act like a little girl, but then my adult self would step back in. Only my world didn't allow me to be an adult, she explained. While she said she was told to be wild on stage, she claimed she also had to act like a robot the rest of the time, something which felt like death to my creativity as an artist. She also said her father and his team having control over my body and my money for that long made her feel sick. Saying she felt like a shadow of myself, Spears added she believes if she had been allowed to live my life, she would have eventually followed my heart and come out of this the right way and worked it out. Oh, that's tough.
These things get deep. All right. Another topic. Britney got pregnant with Justin Timberlake's kid, and they both agreed to have an abortion. So, according to TMZ, Britney claims in her book that in 2000 she learned she was pregnant with then boyfriend Justin Timberlake's baby. Though she wanted to have the child, partly due to her religious background and family upbringing, and was conflicted about the decision, they both agreed abortion was the right decision. She says, it was a surprise, but for me, it wasn't a tragedy. I love Justin so much. I always expected us to have a family together one day. This would just be much earlier than I anticipated. She wrote about the pregnancy via People. But Justin definitely wasn't happy about the pregnancy. He said we weren't ready to have a baby in our lives, that we were way too young. Of the abortion, she added, I don't know if that was the right decision. If it had been left up to me alone, I would have never done it. And yet Justin was so sure that he didn't want to be a father, Spears concluded. To this day, it's one of the most agonizing things I have ever experienced in my life.
That's so rough. Oh. And now the revelation that I think really didn't need any explanation because we're adults now and we kind of get it. Like, we're right there with you, girl. Why she shaved her head. Okay. So in 2007, prior to the conservatorship, before she was placed on the conservatorship, Spears shocked everybody by completely shaving her head. In the book, she said of her behavior at the time, shaving my head and acting out were my ways of pushing back. After being put under the conservatorship, however, she said she was made to understand that those days were now over, adding, I had to grow my hair out and get back into shape. I had to go to bed early and take whatever medication they told me to take. That's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we think?
I think I'm sad. Okay, so for the past couple of weeks, guys, if you haven't seen our video on the rise and fall of Britney Spears, I even feel bad that we have that title, but it's still a little applicable. We do have a video called The Rise and Fall of Britney Spears. Go check it out. And I feel like we've been doing research for the last couple of weeks about Britney, even before knowing that she was dropping a memoir. So I think all that research and just kind of us going through the motions of the timeline of her life and things, the way they unfolded, and the Free Britney movement. And now we get this memoir with all these revelations and we kind of hear like her side of the story. It just makes it that much more sad.
Yeah.
Because, we understand now why she shaved her head. I mean, the world, they lied to us as kids. You know, we got to wake up and go to work and, just mundane. Like this is not what life is about. And I say that probably every other day. I'm like, I was lied to.
Yeah.
Or maybe people just want to shave their head because they don't want to deal with their head of hair. Whatever the reason, we understand it now as an adult.
Yeah, for sure.
So just knowing, different things, like now we know, or we mentioned, maybe she was dealing with postpartum prior to her 5150 hold, and she was there fighting for custody with K-Fed over there and that relationship. And now we have even more insight. Now we learned that she terminated a pregnancy with one of the loves of her life.
Yeah.
Like her parents or her dad, calling her fat. I am going to crack a joke. If she was Hispanic, Hispanics find flaws and make them into nicknames. So if you're skinny, they'll call you la flaquita, the skinny girl. Yeah. If you're chubby, la gordita. If you're, of a light complexion, la chela. I think Mexicans say la chela or la blanquita or something. Anything that is wrong with you, it becomes your nickname. So it kind of becomes endearing at the end of the day in a twisted kind of way. But I think Jamie is not Hispanic, and I don't think he meant it the way it came out. So just dealing with, the paparazzi. I think something that we didn't mention and I saw on the internet was that, the paparazzi made her look a certain kind of way, and Justin was the golden boy.
Yeah.
We've seen this. So she had to deal with the paparazzi as well. K-Fed ain't shit Federline. She had to deal with him. I mean, now she's on a conservatorship and has to take all these meds and be creative, but not. I think I saw somewhere it said I was like crazy enough where they had to tell me what to do, but I was sane enough to continue to make money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my, you were like in jail for all this time, and now her behavior makes a lot more sense to me in some kind of way.
Yeah.
Just because we did say, she's acting like a kid, da da da, but now I think reading, these different excerpts, it's like, yeah, you're saying it yourself, like this, that you're vacillating between being a child, a teenager, a kid. That's why you're over there playing with knives and doing these movements that are so natural to you because you did that as a teen. You were told to act like a robot, and that's what we see. So
Yeah.
the trauma is so deep that it's like palpable, like you could feel it, like you can
Oh
feel the
yeah.
sadness, you can feel, I don't know, I'm ranting, I just feel sad. That's the summary. What do you think?
I think Jamie Spears and Justin Timberlake can go straight to hell. Straight.
Next to who?
Hey, fun.
Oh, just the whole family?
So throw them all away.
How about Lynn,
Throw her away.
the
Every
daughter, Jamie Lynn?
and that hoe too. Yep, throw them
Oh
all away.
geez, not that hoe.
The way in which everybody failed this woman, it is a tragedy, like a living tragedy, because we all witnessed her getting robbed of her womanhood, as she says. We all witnessed it. For years, this is what she had to live through. And it's like to still force her to go and make money, to still, try and get her to like have some sort of relevancy because that means that she's making money for you. That's like insane. And
Mm-hmm.
then to treat her as though she's a robot, to infantilize her, to, body shame her and everything when she's literally like your golden egg. Like instead of treating her like the most precious thing because she's your daughter, your first daughter, you do the complete opposite. And I don't understand what kind of a parent would do that to their kid or would put them through anything like that.
Yeah.
Um and despite what her family put her through, she still like clung to those family values she grew up in, which is wild to me because being treated the way she was treated by her whole family, I would have rejected all of that because clearly it wasn't accurate because here they are doing the opposite of what the values are supposed to be, but she
Mhm.
was still holding on to that. And that's why she wanted to keep her baby with Justin. And Justin is the biggest pile of trash that you could think of. Like, he, look, they were young. That's, it happens, right? Like, it shouldn't, but it does. It happens. And did he have a right to feel the way he felt? Yes, he did. But I don't know, because of course we haven't read the book and I don't know if she touches on it, but I don't, it's like, I don't know if he, like, she clearly did what she did by terminating the pregnancy for him. He did not think of her. At least it doesn't seem that way right now. He didn't seem to stop and consider her family values, the way she felt about the pregnancy and the fact that she would have wanted to keep it. So he can go straight to hell. Like, straight.
And at this point, probably the sister had the baby, no? Jamie Lynn? Or
No,
she
I don't think she.
or she was too young yet.
Yeah, she wasn't pregnant yet. I think Britney had already either had her first or was about to have her first or something when that stuff was going on with her sister. But like the late 90s, early 2000s was a weird time, y'all. Like if you wasn't around, it's hard to explain, but it was a weird time. We had Y2K. Like it was crazy, and there was a lot of, I don't even know what to call it, but it was like there was a bigger, I feel like a bigger like commotion over artists back then,
Mhm.
because you would have shows like TRL or 106 in Park, and you'd have people camped out waiting to see their favorite artists and stuff like that. And Britney Spears,
ERL. I
yes,
love the show.
Britney Spears was a mainstay. Like, she was always, always, in the top 10. And you could just tell that she was this young, like, sweet girl who just was like, from the South, very, very much an ignorance to her that was just like innocent or whatever.
Hmm.
And so then to see that within a few short years, her life completely got turned upside down and it all just kept going downhill from there. It was terrible witnessing that. Like, we witnessed that in real time. Like, and I felt terrible for her then. I don't think I could have ever imagined that she was going through all of this stuff though. Like,
I didn't think things were as bad. Like, yeah, she's under a conservatorship, legalities,
yeah,
but she was doing, again, all these things. She was doing the Vegas residency. She was going on tour. I think she was producing music still. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, just it to me, it was more of a keeping an eye on her
yeah,
until I started, figuring out, or like details emerged that it was so much deeper than that,
yeah,
that she was basically a puppet
yeah,
that was told to do these things. So
right,
just knowing that she didn't even have that liberty to express herself as an artist, it's kind of sucky. And she has no
yeah,
plans to do music, according to the internet. She's just focusing on herself right now, which is great.
yeah, for
It
sure,
just sucks to me that she went through this divorce with this no name guy,
yeah,
who was basically just trying to freeload off of her again. It
mhm,
seems like everybody in her life wants to take from her instead
yeah,
of give stuff to her. Um, so I don't, I just feel sad, to be honest.
yeah.
But I will not change my opinion on her needing help. I think in the
No,
rise and fall of
no,
Britney Spears, I mentioned, I'm like, yeah, everybody's on the free Britney movement. It's cool. We got her out, but I think she still needs help. I don't know how she's going to get it, because I feel like that's traumatic in itself, because I'm like, oh,
mhm,
therapy. And I was forced to go to therapy. Now I don't want to go to
right,
therapy. I don't know how that works, but you know, we now are, from her own words, reading her trauma. So
yeah,
we know she needs help still.
yeah,
I
for sure.
stand by that.
She does. I think she does. The trauma just runs way too deep. Way too deep. There's no way.
Oh, I wonder what else she's going to reveal at this point. I don't know what else I want to know. Her outings with Lindsay Lohan, on a lighter note, and
But
Paris
she's so
Hilton,
yeah.
how she really felt about the Backstreet Boys.
I mean, I bet she's Team BSB now.
Oh,
I would be.
oh.
Just
Well, I
saying.
want to hear more about the Justin
Oh
love,
yeah, that whole relationship.
that whole relationship. Now I'm intrigued,
Yep.
because as we all know, there was Crimea River. There were allegations that she cheated, and she said that she did kiss a guy called, what did you say,
Wade
Rob?
Robson.
Wait, I don't even know who he is.
He was a choreographer.
Oh, well, she kissed him. She admits it. But he cheated too. So he shouldn't even made that video. Hypocrite.
And Wade Robson was friends with Justin Timberlake.
Oh, I didn't know. Let me look him up. Wade Robinson?
Robson, I think.
Wade Robson.
hmm
So,
Yeah, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. He was a choreographer for like NSYNC, Britney, a couple other people. He
mhm.
also was apparently connected to Michael Jackson, and while Michael was alive, he was very much a staunch supporter of Michael. But once Michael died, all of a sudden he had some allegations.
Mm-mm.
Allegedly.
Again, saying that Jackson had a
Uh-huh.
when he was between the ages of 7 and 14.
Yep.
I Man, this is the downside to Hollywood. Yeah,
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
be rich and famous and and have a Kim heir, an Eldris
Oh,
heir.
gosh. Here we
But
go.
but this is a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get like this, I'm gonna call it hate comments where they just don't like what I say. And I'm like, man, that's mean. So I can only imagine it being multiplied by millions, and the effect that it could have on people. I'm
Right.
like, guys, y'all some brave souls on the internet, but not in person.
This is
This,
true.
this bravery that y'all got is unmatched.
Very
But
true.
I can't wait for you to read the book and tell me about it.
Oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to read that book.
Matter of fact, I know the internets are going to give me a synopsis, and I love that about the internet and social media. So, of course, we'll keep you guys updated. Let us know what you think in the comments about these revelations. How do we feel?
Whew.
Besides devastated, maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know what other feeling you might have. I hope it's a sad one. But
Yeah.
if it isn't, let me know. Maybe I should be looking at something, or we should be looking at something in a different light. Are you Team Justin? Are you
Whew.
Team Britney?
Don't get me started. I did a poll and I ain't like it.
Let us know, Life is lifing right now.
Mhm.
But that concludes today's video. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our videos. We're informative, usually not sad, but we're funny, So we're trying to grow our community. So if you share our videos, your friends could be our friends, and we can all be friends. We also have social media, which Steve will tell you about.
We're on Instagram and TikTok at Hear Me Out, DNE. So make sure you guys follow, like, and share. We enjoy communicating with you guys.
All right, guys, we'll see you as soon as we read the book, I guess. Well, we have some more topics on Brit. We'll recap the book. All right. See you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.